Yo, what is going on, guys? Digirex here, and today I'm coming at you with a brand new video. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys, or telling you guys, rather, what the best loadout for the Calus checkpoint of the raid is. So I did one for Bathhouse already, and you guys seem to enjoy that, so I decided to make another one. And this one being on Calus, obviously the final boss of the Leviathan raid. And I'm making this video because there are a few good setups that you can run with for Calus. And I'm going to be explaining you guys what I think those setups would be. So for exotics, there are three main exotics that you really want to use for Calus. Exotic weapons, should I say, because there are armor pieces that can be useful for this boss encounter. But the three exotic weapons that are really extremely good for Calus are Sweet Business, Cold Heart, and the Merciless. So now, Sweet Business is a kinetic weapon. The Cold Heart is an energy weapon, and the Merciless is a power weapon, so they are all in different slots, which makes our loadouts drastically different, as if you want to change one thing, you have to basically change your whole setup, because you know, the whole only one exotic rule and all that stuff. So, I would definitely recommend Cold Heart, and Cold Heart is the best, but say you don't have the pre-order bonus exotic, the Cold Heart, the second best thing is really the Merciless, but we're going to start with the Cold Heart. So with the Cold Heart, for your primary weapon or your kinetic weapon, you definitely want to run with something that can sustain a lot of ammo. You definitely don't want to run a hand cannon because you're going to be running out of ammo, because there are actually a lot of adds at this boss encounter, which is quite unfortunate because you are going to be using a lot of energy weapon and a lot of kinetic ammo, which kind of sucks. Your ammo goes by really fast because of all the adds, so you definitely want to use an auto rifle. Probably a pulse rifle or a scout rifle would be better just because you can hold more ammo, you can do more damage, you can be more accurate, because pulse rifles and scout rifles generally do more damage. You can conserve your ammo better because you're not spraying it everywhere. So I definitely recommend a good pulse rifle or a good scout rifle to deal with all the adds and conserve your ammo. If you're gonna, for your kinetic weapon, so obviously power weapon, I would definitely recommend the Cold Heart, because it is very good for DPS and Calus, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know. But the Cold Heart, after the longer and longer you shoot it, the more and more damage it does, which means that you can just empty into a lot of bosses, especially Calus, and it will do a good amount of damage. Has a fast reload, and especially with a Titan Rally Barricade, you can do a ton of DPS. So that is definitely what I would recommend for your energy weapon. And for your power weapon, I'd really recommend any rocket with cluster bombs. The rockets with cluster bombs do a good amount of DPS to Calus, and since your main DPS weapon is going to be the Cold Heart, these rockets add just a little extra bonus damage on top of the cake. So that is the first loadout I would go with. It is definitely a good one. And the second loadout I would go with is the Sweet Business. Now the Sweet Business is an exotic auto rifle that spins up. Similar to the Cold Heart, it does more damage over time. It fires more bullets over time, which makes it especially useful for DPS and Calus. The only problem I see with this is that it is your primary weapon, so you are going to be using it for a lot of things like killing adds. So you definitely need to make sure that you are managing your ammo very well if you use the Sweet Business, because you definitely don't want to run out of ammo, especially if it is your main weapon for doing DPS to Calus. And with that, I would say you probably want to run just some sort of scout rifle or something like that, just so you don't run out of ammo for your primary. You want to run some sort of scout rifle energy weapon, so you don't run out of ammo for your primary, so you can use your primary Sweet Business to do damage to Calus. And then your heavy, like I said before, a rocket with cluster bombs will suffice. So the third loadout I would recommend is a pulse rifle or a scout rifle in the primary, a pulse rifle or a scout rifle in the secondary, and then your main damage dealer for Calus will be the Merciless. And I would only recommend using the Merciless when you're on the front two plates, just because at a longer distance you're not going to be getting as much damage for your ammo, so you definitely want to be using it at closer ranges, because it is a closer range weapon. So you definitely want to use your Merciless ammo when you're standing on the front two plates. Those are the three loadouts I would definitely recommend, all very strong loadouts. And now I'm going to be moving to subclasses that are good for this encounter. So there are a few good subclasses that you can use for this encounter. I definitely say Warlocks and Titans are more important than Hunters in this encounter, but Hunters can be useful too. So for we're going to talk about hunters first. They're probably the least important in this encounter, but they can still be useful. They still have their place. I would definitely run with Night Stalker or Golden Gun. Arc Strider will basically be useless at this part. And if you're going to run Golden Gun, definitely run with Celestial Nighthawk. It can help an immense amount with DPS and Calus, which is super useful. And then, obviously, if you're running Tether, you're going to want to tether Calus. You're going to want to tether Calus on the DPS cycles. Or if you have the Orpheus rigged and exotic hunter boots, then you can tether the ads and generate orbs for your teammates so they can get their supers faster, and then you'll get your tether back if you do tether enough enemies, which again is super useful, but that is only if you have the Orpheus Rig Hunter exotic boots. So that is definitely what I would recommend for hunters. Now moving on to warlocks, I think I would definitely recommend, there are a few different options. I think I would recommend Stormcaller over Voidwalker, and I'll tell you why. Stormcaller can be very good for dealing with ads like I just told you about. Also have rifts, empowering rifts, which will help you with your DPS on Calus. And if you run Stormcaller, you get the Arc Souls, which they may not seem like a significant amount, but they do definitely help. Their little damage builds up on time, especially if each member of your raid team has an Arc Soul. It helps an immense amount. So the advantage that you have with the Voidwalker is that you can get your health back a ton, and that'll help with ads, because I know sometimes ads can be overwhelming and you don't want to use all your revive tokens just reviving people who are dying left and right. But with Voidwalker, you can eat your nades, you can melee enemies and get back a ton of health, and that can be super useful just for survivability, and of course you still do have your Rift. Moving on to Titans. I think Titans should definitely run with Striker at this part. Striker helps clear ads, and then they definitely have to run with the Rally Barricade, because at the Rally Barricade you guys can get instant reloads if you crouch at the barricade, which can help for the people inside, killing the skulls, getting the stacks, and it can also help for DPS and Calus. You can crouch in front, instantly reload that rocket launcher with cluster bombs, or instantly reload your Cold Heart, and be back damaging Calus easily. This is probably how you get the most damage with your Rally Barricade. So those are definitely the subclasses I would recommend and abilities I would recommend. Let me know if you guys do any other kind of setups that you think is pretty good for Calus in the comments below. This is what I think, and this I think is what the majority of the community will agree with. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, subscribe for more Destiny 2, For Honor, and Overwatch content. This has been Digirex. Peace.
I'm open to mind, so we all need some time just to settle down. Won't you come around, cause I never can leave it alone. Talking about somebody rolling, boulevard dining, making it count for efforts I can't explain. Ballin' and feeling we drowning, never been humbled by playing the fighter.